Jackie. Hi, Karen. Hi, Noreen. Good morning, Christine. As you can see, it's probably near a good evening here. So I'm just playing the beautiful alchemy bowls. Welcome, everybody. I've really been quite quiet on here, not done very many Facebook Lives of recent times. This has been a really intense passage. And I know, talking to dear friends that I've met up with in this last couple of months, they have also found this journey through from the equinox, through these eclipses, and obviously into this 11:11 portal yesterday. Such an intense passage. It's been really interesting what's being brought up through each of these gateways, if you like, that we've navigated our way through. And each one has been a pulse point, a portal that is taking us ever closer to the solstice. And I really feel that the solstice this year will be super intense. So we are navigating our way as well as we possibly can do in such uncertain times. There is so much that is at play on the world stage, and by that very nature of as within, so without, as above, so below, we find ourselves at some level processing or impacted by what we're actually experiencing in the collective field, or what we're seeing on the external mirror or on the external lens of what's going on in our lives. And these are potent and powerful points. I'm just trying to release Kit from the space before she comes in and meows us. So yeah, intense times. And I've been on quite an interesting journey, and this particular reading I want to offer in a slightly different way, because at the equinox, which seems ages ago now, I received certain information that actually what we perceived that we were going to be doing as we went into the end of the year and into next year was not how it would be, that we would be going through a refinement and alignment process that would take us to the equinox before we had clarity as to what we would be bringing forward of our gifts to share into 2023. So these were potent times indeed on our passage, and it's been really interesting watching my own journey as I've moved through the eclipses, and what's come up and what's been really clear that has been to be part of my journey going forward. And many of you know that I have moved quite recently in this last 4 or 5 months into the area of Avalon, into this part of Somerset, which has got a particular vibe to it. It's got a particular energy to it. And I spent most of my life in the New Forest. Very different energy. But when I got here, I realized that there was a connection with a particular energy point, a particular node that was calling me once I'd arrived. So I saw that there was perhaps other aspects as to why I'd been drawn to this area. And this particular node, this particular energy center, is called Burrow Mump. Now, some of you, if you are local, will know of this energy center. It's a node and a place on the landscape that biogeologists like Roy Duff have been very drawn to and have done work with. And very many other groups have been in and out of Burrow Mump. I know Kathy Mingo in particular has been involved in this recent time in understanding that this was a node, an energy center on the earth that was waiting to come online. It was waiting to reactivate at this point of the solstice. And the more I tuned in to Burrow Mump, the more I realized that this was going to be far greater than an activation of a node point on the landscape here, that in fact these energy nodes were going to start to activate all around the world, and that it was time, because the Gaian energy field, the fifth dimensional field of the earth, was going to start to be more active, shall we say, and she has been preparing for some time to activate in a way that was going to help us to move our lives into an alignment with what one would call New Earth. What I found really fascinating was that more I tuned in to Burrow Mump, the more I became aware of dragon consciousness, dragon energy in the land. And as you know, I've been working with the land and with houses, buildings, house whispering, and working with the alchemy of the roses in various different forms over the years. So it wasn't a big surprise that I was starting to get a real sense of a shift in my own inner landscape and my connection to the land. But what was really clear was that what I was connecting with was the rose heart of the dragons, of the elemental dragon energy that is really beginning to be much more active on the earth. The particular flavor or the particular frequency of dragon energy that was connecting with me called themselves rose dragons. And this I found particularly fascinating because they said that they had come from the heart of Gaia, that they were unified fields of energy. They weren't polarized. They did not have a masculine feminine aspect. They were whole in themselves, but that they were holding the frequency of the elements, the energetic streams of energy in the earth. So that's been a lot of my exploration in this last 5 or 6 weeks. And it's really fascinating because at this point, we have an activation through this 1111 portal of the rose ray. Many of those that are sensitives will be aware that there is a shift in the frequency. Yesterday was a very potent day here on planet Earth, and this rising energy is going to start to activate us in a very different way. The dragon energy, the serpent energy through the earth is wanting to connect in and activate us, to activate the Kundalini energy, to activate these streams of the Ida Pingala energy through our bodies, to bring us much more in line with our fifth dimensional rose hearts. So these are exciting times, and I am really fascinated to see what will come as we move through this equinox portal. Sorry, the solstice portal. So for any of you that happen to be local to Somerset or are drawn to come to Somerset, I will be holding a meditation at Borough Mump at 12 noon on the 19th of December that will be specifically around the connecting of these dragon lines, these dragon energies that are wanting to be much more active and visible and work with us to help us through this portal of time. And you know, as you can tell, I'm super excited about this new phase of how that is working in with the roses that I've been working with for the last 12 years. There is a different frequency that wants to come in and really be a foundation for our ongoing journey with Gaia, with the consciousness of Mother Earth. And it will actually strengthen and align our ability to bridge heaven and earth, ability to bridge and bring these higher keys and codes of consciousness that come down with the photonic light, and be able to anchor those in to the Earth Star, connecting in with these amazing elemental energies within the Earth, and to be able to raise our own bioplasmic field of frequency. And it's going to be a really interesting journey through the solstice and into next year. So the rose ray, this beautiful, beautiful energy, the rose consciousness is raising all around the planet. And what it's doing is it's allowing us to move into the heart field in a completely new way, and allowing us to find this place of being love in action, that this is our pathway forward. We have to bring this, embody it, allow for that firm foundation in our presence here on the earth, and allow it to rise through our own energy fields, and for us to be activated rose hearts, to be love in action. And this is a mastery. It's a journey that we've been on for many years, most of us. My own first activation on this pathway was in 1993. So clearly I've been a slow learner. It's a long journey, and it's a refine and align. We all had dense pockets of energy to work with. We've had our own ancestral stories to work with, and to find a path of mastery. The roses are pure love. They have no other agenda. But we need to be fully activated. We need to have these energies of chi, these streams of energy, in balance with these 5 elements: the air, the earth, the fire, the water, and the ether. There is a beautiful crystalline rose dragon that is holding this ether frequency that is going to really be working with us in this current time. So let's see what the wisdom of the roses might have to offer us as extra insight as we move through this portal of time and on towards the solstice energies. And as I say, they would be super powerful. Yes, Jess, I will. I'll put the details of the Somerset event up. I will create a Facebook event. It will also be on my website over the weekend, but yeah, I will do. And I've also got a couple of Rose Vision Quest events on the website as well. One of them's online, and the other is an in-person event in the new Rosie Temple space here, which will be magical. It's the inaugural event of the actual temple space here. And just as we go into the new year, I'm going to put together a 5-part journey with the rose dragons. And there are some new roses that are coming forward to be the portal for those energies. So I think this is going to be pretty incredible as we move into 2023. We just have to get ourselves to the solstice and be really mindful, really present to what is wanting to release at a physical level and what's wanting to release at a mental, emotional level. Anyway, let's see what the roses have got to offer us as wisdom today. So the first rose is Rose Angel 5, and this rose doesn't often come up in the readings actually, but she sits on the throat chakra, and she is just such a gorgeous energy to work with. So she's calling us to be really clear and succinct in our speech, to know that our words carry energy, and to be mindful of that. In the throat, she speaks of the wound of denial, and she speaks to the speaking of truth. This beautiful, beautiful frequency that is carried when we speak truthfully of what is arising for us. I'm just wondering if I can get her. These kind of lights don't do the roses any favours. But just feel into her and feel her softness and her beauty as a reminder. You know, the rose path in these coming times asks us to be compassionate warriors of love, to walk a path of beauty, truth and love, but in kindness and compassion to the unfolding of another's path. Let's see what the second rose is that wants to come forward. Again, another throat rose. It's really fascinating. Rose 5. And this beauty is in the Rose 1 set, and she sits on the throat. And she is such a beautiful, clear, refined and defined rose. And you can see, you know, this golden backing to the petals. And she says, you know, what comes out of my mouth is more important than what goes in it. And to first be kind, even with my self-talk, be kind. We are moving through uncharted waters. We are walking an unknown path. You know, we have moved past the time of the gurus. We have moved past the time of the, you know, the places where we can hide. This is the time where it is a calling to stand up, each one of us, to stand up in what is true for us and to move forward to share from that place. There is a frequency to truth. All of us know that. There have been times when we have heard another speak and know that there is something behind that. There is something deeper that is not being spoken of. Hi Anna. Hi Ruth. These just are the most powerful times. But we have to be the creators of the world that we want to live in. And we need to stand forward to that. So here we have the third rose. It's Rose Ma 3. And Rose Ma 3 was sitting in a bed of roses in the Alhambra in Granada when I visited in April of 2010, which is what started my whole journey with the Way of the Rose and the opening of this pathway of sacred homecoming, this journey home to self. And this beauty said, although I sit in the shadows, still I am beautiful. And I wait until it's my time to shine. And so many of us will resonate with this, that we felt that we were sitting in the shadows, that the sun was bright elsewhere. And this reminds us, this rose reminds us that all is frequency and everything comes in its right timing. This rose speaks to the power of actually the right timing for everything, not sharing ahead of time, of knowing when it is more prudent to stay quiet rather than to speak. And she is just super, super powerful in her message. So isn't it interesting that the 3 roses tonight have called for a focus on speaking our truth, not denying another of hearing our truth, of being really clear with our words, knowing that our words hold power. And this rose where he's saying, you know, although I may sit in the shadows, still I am beautiful. And this rose knew that as sure as eggs is eggs, as the sun went round, the sun would shine on this rose as she sat quietly waiting in the rose bed. So they've got a beautiful message for us for this time. And as I say, the piece that I was given in meditation at the time of the equinox was that whatever we thought we were going to be offering or doing as we move to the end of the year and we're into next year was not completely founded, that actually we would need to wait until we had got through the solstice before we'd have all the pieces, before we would know that there was everything that we needed to move forward. And it's interesting, I find, that Mars is retrograde, so therefore is asking us to pause, to put on hold, perhaps to think again. And we have moved through these eclipses and this 11:11 portal. So we are being asked to refine and align, to refine anything that is still calling for our attention, be that in our physical space or be that in something that's still holding an energy charge, that is still holding some kind of piece that we need to resolve. And this is just the most perfect point to be really drawing in. This is the most yin time of year. I was out in the woodland here yesterday with my neighbour and just offering into the nature kingdom, into the waters, into the woods, bringing a sense of appreciation to what nature is offering us as a mirror of consciousness, in the letting go effortlessly and easily of the leaves, of seeing the colours of the warming foods, the squashes, the pumpkin, the carrots, anything that is going to warm and soothe the spleen, bringing us back in to reflect perhaps on the journey this far this year, and yet gently, gently feeling in to where the alignment is going forward. And as I said earlier on, this place of the rose ray and the rose ray activation that is felt to be really potent today is what's prompted me to speak of the connection that I'm sensing and that I'm being downloaded information by the rose dragons, the elemental rose dragons, that touches back into the energies of the tattvas that I first connected with in the 90s when I was studying Sikhem. These elemental energies that bring a balance and a harmony in our energy fields once we understand the qualities that they are inspiring us to embody. So, as I say, I will be putting on Facebook and onto my website the event on the 19th of December, the Solstice event with a meditation at Burrow-Mump. And there is a visioning day, an online visioning day on the 3rd of December. And there is an in-person visioning day here in the Rosie Temple space on the 4th of December. And I will be putting up in the next week the dates for a 5-week journey with the elemental rose dragons. And you'll be the first to engage with the new roses that want to be part of that journey. Thank you for being with me this evening. I hope the message has been inspirational for you. The roses have been powerful in what they've shared with us. And be aware of your throat, be aware of your speech, be aware of what you're sharing. And I am wishing you all a wonderful week ahead. And yeah, go well. Okay, with much love and rosy blessings.